and welcome to all our listeners today. And what a beautiful day today we have. I'm looking forward to the weekend.
I am too.
And we have Geraldine with us again today. And before I introduce Geraldine, I just wanted a little inspiration for the day. I know many of us have teenagers out there, and of course it's that fine balance of showing love and having rules and discipline and, you know, respecting their boundaries. And this week, Doug and I came up with a fabulous way to allow to get permission for a teenager to give their where they're feeling. And Doug had said, what we need to do is ask Angus every time we speak to him, is your mind open right now? Because oftentimes people's minds are closed and they really don't want to hear from you. So maybe you can use that technique, even with people at work who may want to change the way they do things, or family members. But I've tried it several times now and it's worked tremendously well. I get a yes or I get a no, but I'm very respectful. Anyway, so Geraldine, you know, she's the success story of real estate. You know, she's been in the business 16 years. She's worked so hard. She started with Doug many years ago. And, you know, she started, you know, a receptionist, administration, and then contracts, helping Doug show his listings for many years. And she's been a, you know, full-time realtor for many, many years. But just recently, she celebrated her highest sale ever in the business, and congratulations.
Thank you, Caron.
She sold a beautiful $4 million home, and we got to celebrate with her last weekend. And you know, you have to take those times to celebrate, right?
Yes, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh no, you're so welcome. We're just so happy for you and happy for all the wisdom that you can bring to your clients. But what we wanted to talk about, we wanted to talk story, as they say, is, you know, we talked about where the buyers are coming from, but, you know, are you ready to create your lifestyle home right now? And how does that look? What do we do for our clients? Because that's a big sentence, right? And where do you start? So I wanted to use Geraldine's experience and to tell her story, and then we'll put some different elements into this talk today to start getting you thinking creatively of, are you where you want to be today? Or do you want to make that next move? It mightn't be today, but you certainly can start planning for tomorrow. So with that, tell me about this sale. You know, you told me it was a 10-year relationship, a referral from someone you had a 10-year relationship with.
Yes.
So I'll let you go.
Well, what's causing this change? Well, first of all these buyers for years, they were on the fence, right, to make a move. For whatever reason they were waiting for the market to drop. But last May, well, when COVID hit early last year, you know, COVID hit and there was a lot of uncertainty. And then with regards to the real estate market, you know, right when around May time, early summer, the real estate market just took off. People really thought about where they really wanted to be, their true lifestyle, you know, with gyms being closed, you know, some people living in condos, they no longer wanted to be in the same elevator with someone. People really thought about the change in their lifestyle and where they really wanted to be. So they consult with us and we help find them their dream home.
You know, and how are you, you know, when this client came to you, and of course we talk about the scarcity of property, you know, how did you start looking for a client when there's really not a lot of houses on the market?
There isn't a lot of houses on the market. So I took his criteria of what he wanted and we expanded on it, where he truly, really wanted to be. We also looked at off-market properties.
Okay.
And any properties that we knew, any past clients, reached out to past clients, but we looked at a lot of homes.
And I think with our network with other realtors in the community, we often pick up the phone and ask somebody, oh, would you have a listing coming up in a neighborhood? You know, we look at old listings that might have been on the market a couple of years ago. You know, so networking is really important. And how about, you know, right now the comparables, you know, it's very hard to price properties and appraisals. How did you get the appraisal to come in? I mean, you know, the comparables oftentimes, you know, appraisers are busy and we have to take comparables to them because they're not really working in the market like we are every day, seeing what people are willing to pay, which to us is the true appraisal. All they're doing is going by history of past sales. Well, that's not really where the market is of that day. So how did you bring up your comparables and discuss that with the appraiser when you met him there?
I took the piece of property and I looked, it had a view, number one, a view. So there's only certain parts of the areas that have a view. I took the square footage of the home to compare, but I looked at off-market sales also and called anything that was under contract.
Okay. And then as far as, looking at comparables, did you go outside that one area to bring comparables in, or did you have to stay within the same area?
Appraisers like when you stay within that area, but when you cannot find any comp, you have to go outside the neighborhood.
Exactly. And would you say, like, even when you put an offer in for a client, you really have to show it was a view home that Geraldine sold. So she was looking at all the luxury view properties from, let's say, Kaimuki to Hawaii Kai, right? So really seeing where the best value was, what the construction quality is, and what the profile of the buyers are too. Because if this person turned around and wanted to sell today, have they bought a safe investment? So how did you assure your client that to make sure that they had bought a safe investment?
Well, we analyzed the market to see how fast everything was moving. Everything is going upwards, that's for sure. But taking a closer look at the stats and everything, consulting with Doug and Caron at homes they've looked at, doing a lot of comparison and a lot of research. We spent countless of hours doing research.
And what would you say makes a good value with a luxury home?
Location, number one, view, and basically what are you going to put into it?
Absolutely. So when we get those home inspections, that's when the real, did we really sell a home or not? Once we get the home inspection, we get to know the house better. And, there's some things which are very minor. There's other things that are pretty substantial. And what I really enjoy about our boutique company and working as a team is Doug's knowledge on construction, and then of course our vendors that come in and give us their expert opinion.
Yes, so we had a home inspector, we had a elevator expertise go in to take a look at the elevator and the turntable that rotates the vehicle.
Wow, that's a new one. I haven't even had that myself. That's the nice thing about real estate. It's always different,
Yes.
So we're very fortunate in this business. It's always challenging and always different. We're always learning. People keep saying they want to wait, for the inventory and prices. What do you think is going? What would you say to someone? Say, well, I want to save and I want to wait for more houses to come up.
I would say now is the best time if you had any thoughts about moving or even relocating anywhere, or thinking about your dream lifestyle, that now is the time to reach out to us, consult with us so that we can help you. There's historically low rates right now and many good loan programs.
Why don't we talk about some of the programs? We haven't dived into a lot of detail, but we've got an overview. Like we were just discussing the other day, there's a 40-year amortized mortgage now. Rates are higher, but it's interest only for 10 years. It's good for some people and not so good for others. And then there's your typical 30-year mortgage. And what are the rates currently right now for 30 years?
I can get something under 3.1 for sure.
And that's definitely for a jumbo mortgage, which is mortgage over, is it 764 or 794? Yeah, 700.
Yeah,
I think it's 765. But it's and then there's one of the loan programs too that my luxury buyers have looked at is they go with their finance people, the big companies out there, Morgan Stanley, etc. And they're very lenient and they give very low rates, very low down payments, but people can borrow against their retirement funds.
Or actually if you have, like, maybe your parents want to lend you, the lowest rate is below 2%. I believe 1.71. Don't quote me on it, but that was from my experience from a transaction this year.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can see, so it's really good to talk to a professional because there's all these options out there. And I have a client right now who's probably will be buying a home and needs to buy her in the next 60 days when he refinances. But my job right now is every day I'm looking at the market and keeping him up with what's going on, what's active, what's sold. So when he's ready to go to buy that home, he's fully educated, and he'll be in a very, you have to be in a very competitive situation, wouldn't you say?
Yes, very, very competitive.
Yeah.
They ended up having 2 backup offers on this property.
Wow, 2 backups. And
Yes.
tell me, I remember when you were negotiating that house, and you really negotiated hard. I remember it was like 2 weeks of
We
negotiation.
made sure no money was left on the table.
And I remember, God, I hope somebody doesn't come away and just try to put an offer in and boom, you've lost it. So how did you go through that emotionally, making sure that you weren't going to be outbid or another offer would come in straight away during your negotiations?
Well, I think educating the client, the risk that they're going to take, so also, but also focusing on the client.
Yeah, focusing on the client.
Yes. Luxury is just not a sales price, but it's really a level of service.
Exactly. And then tell me, I know you had to find insurance for the home. So
Yes.
how many different quotes did you get for the home?
Probably 3.
3, yeah. And it's interesting the different insurance companies out
Yes.
there, what they will do, what they won't do, what they'll charge. It's a whole other science.
But I'm
out
glad
there.
we have the list of, we have relationships with those insurance people that we can just call them up and they'll answer our call and be able to drop everything to help our client.
Absolutely. Well, is there anything else you wanted to share, about, somebody sitting on the fence right now, whether they should act or not, or any other words of wisdom or education you'd like to give this morning?
Yes, if you would like to research even other marketplaces outside of Hawaii, we do have the domestic and global partners all over the world to help you with that.
Absolutely. We belong to Luxury Homes and Realm, huge databases of luxury brokers all over the US and internationally. And, I've been in the business over 32 years and Doug 36 years, and we have relationships all over the world and very trusting people too, very good people. Well, again, thank you, Geraldine. This was so fun. What we do, we're diving in what we do every day here. And now we're going to share Marianne's photos, and we do that every week, of course. And let me just pop those up on the screen. And what Marianne's done today is it's like lifestyle photos, where you want to live. And of course, this is down in the Ala Moana, Kaka'ako area. And, views are often a huge selling feature these days, whether it be a condo or a single family home. And then, of course, people want to live near the ocean, or even if they don't, they want to be able to get to the ocean easily, and our beautiful ocean sports. And we have some, we've had quite a few clients come from the mainland looking for serenity and nature. And so this is just a reminder that there are quite a few properties with acreage out there with, just that peacefulness of nature. And then, of course, what really, those properties that give us those beautiful sunsets every night is still very much in demand. But thanks everyone for joining us. Geraldine, thank you.
Thank you, Caron.
Yeah,
have a good weekend.
We have a lot of fun working together, and we have a lot of knowledge here, and we're 24/7 for our clients. But thank you for listening, and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, everyone.
Mahalo.